Yes. Yes!
Welcome to the Summer Movie Spectacular 2.0, where we tell you, is it going to be any good? Should you see it? Will it make any money? And who is going to dominate the box office for each weekend? Bring out the tributes!
Greetings out there in Rewrite Land. It is time once more for the One More Rewrite Podcast, a special summer movie edition for you, kicking things off by looking at May. But first, before we get into May, we should do a little bit of a throwback. Yes, it's never too soon to do a throwback. I'm going to take a look at some of the stuff that's come out here in April and touch on it briefly. We're even going to touch very briefly on a certain movie that came out at the end of March. Yes, we are going to talk briefly about Batman vs. Superman, and since we want to get as quickly as we can to May, let's go ahead and talk about the Batman vs. Superman movie, which, I don't know, can you call it tanked? Because it's done $315 million domestic. It's done $521 million foreign. And when we talk about these movies that come out for summer, this is like technically still in spring. And when we do talk about the summer movies, we like to talk about the fact that they're, is it going to be any good? Should you see it? Will it make money? Mm-hmm. Will it dominate the box office this weekend? And it's hard really to say, yeah, of course it was going to dominate the box office. There was nothing else out in March.
Right.
You know?
When you release it in March.
When you release it in March, it's a pretty safe bet that you're going to dominate, especially since you're calling out to the people who are fans of Batman and Superman and all the fanboys who I can't wait to see their two favorites go up against each other. But a production budget of $250 million. It's made $315 million. Why, that means it made money, doesn't it, Lunchbox?
No. That means it lost money.
Yes.
Well, so far. It
needs to make a neighborhood of $800 million just to break even, which I guess if you count foreign, it's kind of broken even.
Yeah, well, no.
No.
No, like if you include foreign, then it needs to make even more. There's just, no, it's just no.
No. And they're still going forward with the Batman movie. There's no plans to cancel
apparently they want Ben Affleck to direct.
Ben Affleck to direct and write, which we've talked about, which we think could have possibilities.
Yes, because he's a great director. So.
Yeah. So that's your March movie, and yeah, it tanked. You could see, I haven't seen it yet. Wife is asking if it's hit the second run theater yet, so maybe we'll see it. And we're doing price comparisons, actually, whether it'd be cheaper to go see it at the second run with all the trimmings, see a soda and popcorn, or to just wait until it came to video.
Came out on video and buy it on video?
Just buy it on video.
Yeah, let's hit the red box.
Yeah, hit the red box. Buy it and then resell it. Something just... Yeah, really. It's... okay, well, let's move on to April. Because
actually, because it's funny, because I asked Jamie if we were going to go see it, and she says, no. I heard it was awful.
Just like...
what are you... Well, what? But it's Batman and Superman. We should really see it on the big... Okay.
Yeah, there's
Guess we'll wait for video.
There's that part of me that's like, it's a big screen movie. It's a big summer release in March, and I should probably go see it. But then there's the other part of me that really agrees with my wife. But it's like, no, I don't want to see Superman and Batman treated that way. Thank you very much. I don't want them getting more money and thinking that this is kind of treatment of my favorite heroes is okay.
Yeah.
So
we'll watch it on video.
I'll watch it on video. So let's go right into April, which I don't know if we need to give you a full-on breakdown of everything that's come out in April, but we do want to talk about some of the stuff that's come and gone. Early April, you had God's Not Dead 2, Meet the Blacks, Average, The Boss, Demolition Man, I wish.
Well, how did The Boss do? It was supposed to be like this big thing.
It came and it went. I mean, it just did.
I don't remember hearing about it blowing anybody away.
That's because it was made for $29 million and it made $45 million domestic, but that doesn't account for advertising, so it probably broke even. It's R-rated comedy in the middle of April.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know what else to say other than it came, it went. It kind of got seen because probably there was not much else to see.
Okay.
Let's spend a little time, though, on Hardcore Henry. That first-person shooter movie that you probably were like, what the heck are they doing? It's like it's a 5-minute sequence that was in the Doom movie, only extended to an hour and a half.
Entirely first person.
Entirely first person. And they, like, all the trailers, it's groundbreaking, takes movies to a new level. Yeah.
Did as much practical as they possibly could.
Did as much practical as they had to and could, and probably partly because of the first-person perspective.
Right, and also because they had no budget at all.
And no budget at all. No budget. This thing said it was made for, like, where is it? I thought it said it was made for 115.
Yes, that's no budget these days.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it
okay, low budget.
Low budget. But yeah, it's made like $8 million so far, and it came out like a couple weekends ago, and yeah, I don't see this as like the next big thing, and never did.
Right.
And I know they're really, really, really trying to sell that as like, won't this be an exciting new way to see action movies, and probably hoping like kind of a 3D whatever and make it an immersive experience, and just...
And really, I thought that, that would probably be a really exciting way to watch a movie. And at some point, I think I'll probably watch it. But, man, the trailers made me dizzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be hard to watch something like that. And I like video games that are first person and such. And sometimes those get to me a little. Most times they don't. But when the trailer, like a 2-minute trailer, makes you go,
right. Well, when
I need to hold on to my lunch.
When you're playing... it doesn't so much bother you because you're the one moving.
Yeah.
And if somebody else is moving it, it's like being in the back seat of the car. You're like, okay, but I have no control over what's going on. And it kind of makes you a little sick because you can't like follow which direction you're going to be moving.
Yeah.
So you really need to be very artful in the way that you direct that in order to lead people's eyes, especially like the editing has to be so perfect, except that it's not edited. So it has to be the cinematographer like leading you in particular directions in order for it to work. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah. So the following weekend, which would be for us right now recording it, the past weekend, Jungle Book came out, yet another iteration of the Jungle Book, because there are just so many out there. Not only the famous Disney cartoon one. That was made for about $175 million. So far, it's actually pulled in about $147 million, and it's going into its second week. It's fairly strong.
Yeah, that was fairly strong.
Decent reviews. It's got a fairly decent voice acting cast. You've got, not voice acting, there's a difference. A fairly decent cast behind the voices, like Scarlett Johansson, Idris Elba, Ben Kingsley, Chris Walken, and of course Bill Murray as Baloo. So
yeah, well, and you can't beat that.
And you can't beat that. And I admit, having seen the trailers, I'm kind of interested myself. And Jon Favreau, I say that like he's French. Jon Favreau directing.
Yeah, and he's a good director.
And he's a really good director. Responsible for the first 2 Iron Man movies, so yeah.
Right.
I'd say pretty good.
And Swingers.
So, I obviously think that's going to end up in the hit territory.
Yeah.
Which brings us into this weekend that we're recording, which is coming out, The Huntsman's... I can't even say it right. My body repels and rejects me even talking about it. But The Huntsman, Winter's War, which is a sequel to The Huntsman. And
well, from having seen the original Snow White and The Huntsman, I would have to say that...
it's definitely a movie starring Chris Hemsworth.
It definitely has Chris Hemsworth in it.
And Charlize Theron.
And really, Charlize Theron was the best part of Snow White and The Huntsman. And really, the only reason that people didn't like the original one, if people didn't like the original one, was because Kristen Stewart can't act.
Yeah.
And since you don't have her in it,
I have to tell you this. Our mom, we were talking about this. I can't believe they're making a movie to this. She just sat there. Like, my mom she was sitting there like dumbfounded, saying like, it's incredible. She's like, gets on screen and just doesn't act. She sits there and stares. I've never seen anything like it. And it's like the whole movie's about her. It's like her mom went off for several minutes about having just seen the original Huntsman movie. It was just like it's just like this was something to watch just because it was so awful. Like I couldn't be like, yeah. I don't think I've seen her that dumbfounded. And I'm like, how can you just sit there and not do anything? It's like the camera's rolling. Action! Yeah. So I noticed she's not in the lineup here. So.
She is not in the new one, no.
She's not in the new one.
Mercifully. We are spared.
But yeah, so I wonder if the audiences will be forgiving. I mean, there was obviously a big enough turnout for the first that there's a sequel.
Visuals on it, on the original one, fabulous. Really, I mean, I've got to say, I'm kind of interested in seeing it. I don't got to wait for video, obviously, but
yeah. Yeah. So there's that coming out this weekend, and we just
anything else coming out this weekend?
Not really, not worth mentioning. Last weekend, Barbershop came out, the next cut, and I think it's like the 4th or 5th entry, and I want to briefly mention that came out because they're like, I
enjoy the Barbershop movies.
Honestly,
I like Ice Cube.
It's like you like Ice Cube, and I just wanted to do a quick shout out because it's a movie that, it's got a solid audience, or that I would say movie, but that how do you say it? That series has a solid following.
Yeah, certainly.
I guess that takes us then. I guess it takes us then to the end of April, where you've got 3 movies opening up at the same time, and definitely appealing to 3 different sets of audiences and counter-programming to everything. They are all getting huge releases. You've got Kino, Mother's Day, and the Ratchet and Clank movie. So, let me just say that I just watched the Kino trailer and it looks so dumb. I had almost virtually the same reaction to it as I did for the Ghostbusters trailer, where I watched it, kept waiting for the funny parts, and then it was over, and it was like kind of was mildly. I don't think this is my movie. Although no.
Yeah, well, it's the Key and Peele movie.
That's the Key and Peele movie.
So, and Key and Peele, of course, have their sketch show, which
it's basically it's a sketch show.
Can't recall the title.
Yeah.
But which is mildly, sometimes, and not really a fan.
No.
But the trailer for Keanu actually looks kind of funny to me. Like, I chuckled a few times, and some of the other trailers, there's some like funny bits in it, and I go, yeah, I could see myself enjoying this movie. Is that going to be good? Nah, probably not. But I think it'll definitely be, kind of a fun little romp, and, so I put it on probably about same of Pineapple Express, which was, obviously darker, but, had some fun moments, and you watched it the once, and you went, oh, yeah, that was fun. And you kind of, pretty much ignored it after that.
I was going to say, I'll give it this credit over Ghostbusters. It's definitely not my cup of tea as far as comedy goes, what I saw from the trailer, but I can see it possibly doing well. Just because I don't think something looks funny doesn't mean other people won't. And I'll only admit that with this versus the Ghostbusters one, because there are just, moments in the Ghostbusters trailer that made me cringe. Whereas there are other moments in the Keanu trailer that I was just kind of like, I guess that can be kind of funny.
Yeah, I can see where that would be funny.
I can see where that'd be funny. But, yeah, so...
I can see how somebody would find that funny.
But not in a pretentious kind of. I guess I can see how the plebeians would enjoy that. Bring on the high comedy and fart jokes. Another movie opening up that weekend, which is also a comedy, but more of what looks like the kind of Ramesh stuff, starring Jennifer Aniston, Julia Roberts, and... who else is in this? John Lovitz, Timothy Olyphant. It just...
Only Fantastic's in it?
Yeah, that's according to this little blurb here. As we all know, or should know by now, I'm not the biggest Julia Roberts fan. In fact, I am the anti-fan. And it's a chick flick comedy, and it could be counter-programming to the Keanu and Ratchet and Clank, I guess.
Right.
I just don't see it as being...
one of the biggest rom-coms of all time was My Best Friend's Wedding. That was essentially counter-programming. I forget which movie was counter-programming.
I would say that was to Armageddon, wasn't it? They both came out in 98.
Armageddon?
I think it was Armageddon. So like if you weren't watching asteroids hit the Earth, you were watching Earth's crumble under Julia Roberts' feet. Anyway. I don't know. It could be just this kind of movie, the ones with Julia Roberts in them. Virtually.
You know, I've enjoyed some Julia Roberts movies. I don't think that she's that bad.
I've enjoyed movies
I'm not
that
saying
have
she's a
her as a
great
bystander.
actress, but she enjoyable for what she does.
I guess. The only thing I've seen that I was okay with her in was the Ocean's 11 movie.
Ocean's 12.
And Ocean's 13.
13.
I've seen Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 13. Ocean's 12 was just kind of for me.
Yeah.
But as we've discussed in previous rewrites, I just don't want to see it, and I just don't see how it's... no. The other big movie coming out this weekend would be, of course, the Ratchet and Clank movie, which I say, both as a kid's movie, the other counter programming is... I think it looks funny. I think it looks fun. It's animated. It's a family film. It's got some voice talents there like John Goodman, Paul Giamatti, Rosario Dawson, Sly Stallone, Jim Ward. These are like just these are some big hitters there.
Yeah.
They're starring in it. And for my own part, for a game... I should say a movie based on a game, it actually looks fun.
It does. It looks very enjoyable. I don't think it's been promoted enough.
I don't think it's been promoted nearly enough.
I don't think that I've seen a single trailer on TV about it.
No, which is
like
weird.
I had to look up the trailer for it.
Yeah, it's been done online, which maybe that's just for this particular movie. That's the niche where they've got to advertise it because gamers are online and gamers think, oh, there's one to take the lights of the kids too.
Really
it's Ratchet and Clank.
Gamers Ratchet and Clank.
It's not.
Ratchet and Clank is like the kids' game, right? I mean, it's like Sonic.
Well, yes and no. Ratchet and Clank has some really dark stuff in it, too. There's the, one of the sequels is called Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Right.
So, and they've got other ones that are kind of double entendre-ish. I believe it's also the same studio that put out, not that you'd know that, but it's the studio that put out the Jak and Daxter, which also had a lot of double entendre throughout their games.
Right.
So they're the kid version that's a bit, but also have some stuff going on there, which is part of what makes me think that the movie actually will do well, because if it's got even some of the same creative talent going on behind it, other than just the brand name, then they might have those things that appeal to the kids and then go for the folks.
Yeah, they certainly got the cast, so clearly,
yeah,
the people that were starring in it thought that it was a reasonable enough script that they'd agreed to star in it. So
yeah,
and the movie looks like fun. I never played the game, obviously, but
yeah. But the movie looks like fun, which is important, because it can't just be appealing to gamers if you've got a movie with a production budget of who knows what. I mean, that kind of 3D animation, and to make it look as clean and polished as it does, it doesn't look like it was...
Yeah, they clearly spent the money on it, but it's just like... But I just haven't seen it promoted at all.
It has not been promoted nearly enough.
So I don't see that it's going to... Like, I'm surprised that it's receiving a wide release with no promotion, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've seen, I mean, certainly I have a limited sphere, but if I haven't seen any promotion, I didn't know the movie was coming out, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Not that it has to be on every Chiclet and Cheez-It box in the universe, but... Yeah.
And it's not Avengers, for goodness sakes.
It's not Avengers or Batman. I can't open a Dr. Pepper can anymore without seeing Batman or Superman staring at me. But you don't necessarily need that level of promotion, but something.
Yeah, some kind of promotion.
Some kind of promotion.
I think that if it was promoted and I saw like some trailers on TV, I'd probably go, "Hey, yeah, let's go see that." But no, with no promotion at all, you're not going to get me out on opening weekend or any weekend for that matter. I'll wait for video.
Yeah. So, I don't know if we want to wrap up by saying what's going to take the top of the pops on the weekends for that, because it's not...
It's obviously going to be Keanu.
You think it's going to be Keanu? I think it's going to be Ratchet and Clank, just because you have broader appeal. And for all we know, we could both be wrong. It'll be Mother's Day or something.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
The out of nowhere hit.
Well, Mother's Day's been getting good reviews, so who knows?
Yeah. That wraps up basically March and April for what's come out. And, since these months are fairly wrapped up, we want to move on to the meat, which is May.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see what we got here going. All right, let's move to May. So we're going to kick off with the only movie worth mentioning that opens up on May 6th, which is, of course, Captain America Civil War. And really, if you haven't seen the advertising for this anywhere, welcome from under the rock.
Featurettes.
Yeah, the featurettes, the soda pop bottles and Cheez-It covers. Yeah, no, really, where have you been? It's a sequel to Captain America, but essentially
Technically.
essentially, technically it is, but it's actually pretty much like an Avengers movie.
Basically, it should be Avengers Civil War.
It's Avengers Civil War, but it's Captain America Civil War, but...
Because they need another Captain America movie.
Yeah. And, I mean, it looks fantastic, it looks huge, and it looks epic, and it looks, well, it looks like another, I guess you would say, in-depth movie.
Yeah.
In a way, which is kind of cool, because it tackles, from the trailers, it looks like it tackles the issues of should there be police for the Avengers,
right,
or should they just be allowed to do what they are, and should they be the final thing? That's what the comic story is. Obviously, people know at this point about that filthy spider creep showing up and stealing Captain America's shield, so you've got that going for it too. So I mean,
and you like, as we've said before, you can't do Civil War without having Spider-Man.
You can't do Civil War without Spider-Man.
Was really pivotal character in the Civil War comic.
Yeah. So
and I think that every fan would be really upset if they didn't include that moment.
Yeah. If they tried to finagle around it or tried to rewrite it for some other character, you'd have fans screaming. So it was a smart move on both Sony and Marvel's part to reacquire Spider-Man, I guess.
Not reacquire. Sharing the rights.
Sharing the rights. And
they're agreeing to license to,
Yeah.
Like, I will let you borrow him for this movie, and then you've got to put
back.
some Avengers in the Spider-Man movie, which apparently they're going to do.
Yeah.
So,
which, I mean, it probably comes down to, listen, we all make tons of money doing this the right way, or we piss off all the fans and ruin a lot of stuff the wrong way. And I'm sure somebody at Sony said, you know what, we've already done the whole piss off the fans thing 3 movies in a row, so we'll try to make money this time. So
yeah, finally.
Finally somebody said, you know what, we'd like...
we like money.
Say, no, we're going to do Amazing Spider-Man 3. This time we'll have 5 villains. We're going to have the Sinister Six plus 2 more. And, yeah, in any case, okay. So let's break it down to our 4 essentials. Is it going to be any good? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the last Captain America movie was really smart. It was fantastically done, not just for a superhero movie, but for any movie.
Yeah.
So the plotting was great on it.
was excellent. Yeah.
Should you see it? Most definitely. I mean, even without the bulk of advertising that's behind it, I think that it's earned the stripes with the previous Captain America movie.
It's almost a need to see it.
It's a need to see it.
Otherwise, all of the other movies that come next, you're not going to, have an idea what the plot is going on.
Yeah. It's like, should you see it for this one should be, do you need to see it? Yes.
Yes.
Kind of like with Ant-Man. Should you see it? Probably. Do you need to see it? Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be included in your pantheon. Sorry.
Yeah.
You have to watch it. Even if you end up waiting for video, you still have to watch it.
It's kind of what was my wife's reaction to it. It's like, Ant-Man was okay, but it felt more like I had to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to catch up, I have to watch it. And, of course, will it make money? Oh, yes. They are building a new money bin as we speak to hold all the cash. What will be the top of the box office that weekend?
Scrooge McDuck is going to be swimming.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're just,
Billions?
Yes, I think this will be the first $1 billion movie of the summer. And not the last, but I think it'll be the first.
Not the last, but definitely the first.
Definitely the first.
Yeah, easily going to hit $1 billion.
Yeah. What tops the box office that weekend? The Batman versus Superman. It come from behind.
It's going to come back. It's going to come back. It's
a Civil War. Yeah, really. So then next weekend is The Darkness, which is a horror movie, and Money Monster, which is a drama thriller starring Julia Roberts and George Clooney. And holy cow, I didn't realize that The Darkness had Kevin Bacon in it. So that actually might help it a bit.
Yes.
I did not realize that till this point when I was reading the the box office mojo page because I was just kind of chalking it up horror movie. Who cares? But the fact that it has Kevin Bacon in it might actually help it.
That definitely brings it up in my estimation.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got Kevin Bacon factor, which he hasn't been in a whole lot lately, and he yeah, I don't know.
And all of a sudden, your 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon game gets a little easier.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 6 degrees, isn't it?
6 degrees.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game just gets that much easier. But yeah, so it might do okay. And then also that weekend is Money Monster with Julia Roberts and George Clooney, like we said. And I wanted to say it's surprising because that's like 2 movies and within a month that have Julia Roberts in them, and she hasn't really been on the radar lately. I don't think she's been in anything in a couple of years, so I don't want to say it's a comeback, but it's just like, okay,
well, wasn't she in Mother's Day?
She's in Mother's Day. That's the other movie we talked about that's coming out in April. But I mean,
Yeah.
she's in the past few years, I can't think of any movies that were billed as having Julia Roberts in
Right.
them. So anyway, Money Monster is a kind of a drama crime. I don't want to say crime thriller because that's a whole other genre. It's
Suspense.
It's a suspense film.
Suspense drama.
Suspense drama. Guy takes over a news studio, whatever. Drama unfolds. He's crazy, making demands. You've got
Trying to find out who it was that stole his money. Big financial crisis. Everybody lost their money. He's trying to find out who's responsible. And then slowly George Clooney starts to realize he's right. There were people stealing the money. We've got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
It sounds like actually a really fun movie.
I mean, the scripting
I just don't need to see it on the big screen.
No.
But I definitely want to see it. Like, I'm eager to see it. Just not eager enough to run out and plug down my $15 to see it.
Yeah, no, really. And there's certain aspects of it that remind me of The Negotiator, in that you have this one person causing this big scene and they're spieling out stuff that sounds like conspiratorial nonsense, but then they draw the other character in that's like watching and listening them, and they start to like say, hey, wait a minute, this guy's making sense.
Right.
So
I don't know if it's going to be as good as The Negotiator.
No,
but
the Negotiator
but it definitely looks good.
Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey, so it's like,
yeah.
And Julia Roberts and George Clooney aren't my favorite actor and actresses in the world. But that being said, I don't see it as a go rush out and see it movie. So for the movies coming out that weekend, The Darkness, as we have said before, it's like, is it going to be any good? It has the Kevin Bacon factor.
Got Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon in horror movies?
Yeah,
Kevin Bacon
in horror movies.
I'll definitely see a horror movie with Kevin Bacon.
I was going to say...
because he picks good ones.
Yeah, typically we say wait for... you don't see horror movies in the middle of summer. You see it around Halloween, but Kevin Bacon kind of shifts it. Should you see it?
Yeah,
well,
I think so, yes.
Maybe.
You shifted me with the Kevin Bacon factor.
I say the Kevin Bacon factor.
I've seen Kevin Bacon in some horror movies, and he picks good ones, and they're really freaky. Yeah. So I'll watch that one.
Will it make money? Maybe. Well, Kevin Bacon factor. But Kevin Bacon factor plus, we've said before also, horror movies have the teen crowd. They're made for low budget, and then they sweep up several million that first weekend.
Right.
Of course, it's going up against the second week of Captain America Civil War, so you don't know.
Right, so it'll probably land in third.
It'll probably land in third.
But it will definitely make money.
I think it'll make money, because horror movies do that.
Because horror movies cost nothing. The most expensive thing in that movie is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I was going to say the most expensive effect is Kevin Bacon. And you've got Money Monster. Is it going to be any good? Possibly. I don't think it'll be as strong as a movie like The Negotiator, but it'll be okay.
Not Negotiator good. I mean, Negotiator's really one of my favorites. But I think that the story looks interesting. You've got Julia Roberts, George Clooney, just giant actors. So
I've never thought George Clooney as a giant actor. He feels like one of those people that's been trying for years to be a giant actor.
He's super famous.
I know. Okay, anyway, before we digress too much, you've got people...
He's a movie star, whether you like it or not.
I was going to say, let's not digress too much on it, because whether I like it or not, he's considered a big actor. Right. So it's got 2 big actors in the lead. Should you see it? Yeah, but you don't have to go see it in the theaters. I think you could wait comfortably.
Right, I don't think that it needs to be seen in a theater. I don't think that it has that scope.
Yeah.
that you need just the giant screen to appreciate.
Yeah.
So, I'd probably wait for video on it. Well, I will wait for video on it, but it does look like a good movie.
Will it make money? Maybe not, because it has the big actors in it, and they cost money. Julia Roberts, she's a $20 million actress, and George Clooney is a $20 million actor. And then you have the advertising and everything, and...
No, I think it'll actually make money. I think it'll do well.
I'm predicting...
I'm predicting that it'll be it obviously coming second to Civil War in its second week.
Yeah.
But I think that it will do some boffo business, actually. I predict a few million. A few $100 million for it.
You predict a few $100 million for it.
$100 million for it.
I predict that it opens up to less than $20 million and drops off because people are still seeing the other, and it's just, it hasn't been advertised as much as you think it should be.
I'd say $34 million opening weekend. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to name a figure.
Not that we're always going to be tossing
million.
out numbers for the weekends, but because we're in such disagreement here, I'm predicting less than 20 for the opening of that.
All right. We'll know next week. We'll let you know.
Yeah. There's a couple of weeks, actually, before that comes out. So then, is it going to be any
after
good?
it comes
Should
out,
you see it? Will it make any money? I think it's going to tank.
It's going to. Yeah.
And what will be the top of the box office that weekend? Civil War. Second week, it's easily going to be Civil War.
No-brainer there.
Yeah. So then Friday the 20th of May, you've got 3 different movies opening up. And here, I think, is where you might begin to see Civil War start to sink a little. Second place, you've got Angry Birds movie, Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. God, that just sticks on the tongue. And The Nice Guys, starring Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. So, Angry Birds movie. I truthfully don't recognize a whole lot of the voice actors for it, but it's the Angry Birds.
Josh Gad. It's got Josh Gad in it.
I don't recognize willfully any of the actors in it.
Josh Gad was the snowman in Frozen.
Yep, I've never seen that movie.
You have a tiny daughter.
I have a tiny daughter who's never seen that movie either, thank God. I've seen...
Let it go!
Haha. I've seen Pixels, and I didn't care for him in that. It just... Anyway. So...
He's funny. He can sing.
So anyway, Angry Birds movie. It's obviously got a well-polished animated look to it. It looks funny, and it looks like they actually have somewhat of a plot to it. I mean, you wouldn't expect you to have a plot to it for being a movie about flinging little birds at houses built by pigs, but, it's incredible to me.
And it should have come out 3 years ago.
And it should have come out 3 years ago when Angry Birds
was a thing.
Was a thing, a huge thing. I still think that it'll do reasonably well. However...
I think reasonably, but...
It's a kids movie.
Oh, yeah, high PBF.
It's a high PBF, and it's a kids movie that actually looks decent. So, is it going to be any good? Probably.
Yeah, I think it looks enjoyable.
Should you see it? Maybe. You can wait for video, possibly, but it depends on the age of your child. If you're if you have a child who's going to sit there and enjoy it, and I've been to kids' movies where they were kind of noisy, that just sort of happens.
Yeah. And you expect that, and if you go to a kids' movie, you expect there to be children there.
Yeah. If you don't, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. If you're like, there's so many kids making noise. So it's your fault for seeing a kids' movie in the middle of a day. You want to see a kids' movie and you don't have to worry about noisy kids, go see it at night.
No, that doesn't help.
The 10 o'clock show?
The 10 o'clock show, no.
Opening day, it doesn't help. He's right.
No, even like I've watched kid shows middle of the week for the last show of the day, there's still somebody brings in a baby.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Will it make money? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll make money.
It'll make money.
It's not going to be huge, but it'll make money.
It's not going to be as huge if they had opened it or been able to get the ball rolling in production of everything of this 3 years ago and put it out.
Yeah.
But it's still popular enough that it will make money. So, also coming out that week. God, just how in the world did this movie get a sequel? Neighbors 2.
Because Neighbors was huge.
It just... Yeah.
Neighbors made a whole lot of money. Oh, hey, it made a lot of money. Let's make another one.
Yeah, I don't even want to say much as I have to about this, but Zac Efron,
it's basically
Rose Byrne.
the same story.
It's the same story, starring the same stupid Seth Rogen, the same shtick.
Zac Efron is an incredible actor.
Yes, but it has
And
to
it's
star
not
along.
fair because you're not allowed to be that good looking and be a good actor too.
Yes, but it's in the same movie as Seth Rogen, so that automatically means it sucks. At least for me.
Seth Rogen's funny. Can be.
Yeah. Just there aren't enough pot jokes in the world to make that funny, and it's just.
It's not a weed movie.
I know it's not a weed movie, but every time I see him, it's just like there's at least one riff because he's just I don't know. Before we get off on my loathing of Seth Rogen, it's a sequel to the first one. It's the same formula,
Same formula,
same actors.
but on this time, Zac Efron's on Seth Rogen's side, so yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah.
I think that I'll probably really enjoy it when I watch it on video.
Yeah, I was going to say. So, which brings us to the next part, which is it going to be any good? It depends on who you ask. I think it's going to be dumb.
Right, I think that it'll be enjoyable.
Should you see it?
If you like Seth Rogen, then you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, should you see it? We just said that.
That's exactly.
I want to hammer home the point of no. No.
Yeah, I think that it'll be fun.
Will it make money? Yeah.
Hells yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I am in denial that it'll make money. Well, it'll be the top of the box office that weekend? Oh, wait, we still have to move on to the Nice Guys.
Oh, yeah, Nice Guys. Still got to talk about Nice Guys.
Well, I don't think it'll be the top of the box office, but we will cover Nice Guys, which is a comedy thriller starring Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, and they basically look like low-level detectives / con men.
Right.
And it's got that kind of crime-esque look to it.
Right.
It's very, I don't want to say noir. Noir is usually like, fedora hats and trench coats.
Right.
But it's got like an old feel to it because it's like set in the 80s or 70s, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
And really, I'm still having a hard time figuring out exactly what the movie's about. But in this case, it works for it because the actors make me interested in what's going on with this movie, and not in a confusing way like so many other movies can do, where it's just like, I have no idea what this show is about. The character is about as engaging as toothpaste, and I have no desire to see this either on video or,
Right, but you want to see it, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, tell me why. Tell them why, too.
Shane Black.
Yeah.
It's written directed by Shane Black.
Yeah.
And Shane Black is probably one of the best writers working in Hollywood.
Yes.
Did Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero. He likes last movies. Lethal Weapon.
Yep.
Buddy cop movies. He also wrote, directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep.
And
Love
of course,
Kiss Goodnight, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2.
And they're advertising it as the guy that directed Iron Man 3, which is probably not like from his other accolades.
I know. I was like, you could.
I would say that's not the one I would have picked.
That's not the one. I would not have picked the one that pissed off the fans as the one that you'd be.
I would say from the writer of
Lethal Weapon 1 and 2,
Lethal Weapon,
or The Long Kiss Goodnight, or
Long Kiss Goodnight. Like, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Like, just really, and that's the thing, is that you think back to those movies and you think about the great dialogue.
Yes. And
really what makes those movies
I was
is
going
that
to say,
great
The Long
dialogue.
Kiss Goodnight would actually, make more sense to me advertising-wise, because it has more of that kind of what's going on, I'm interested in hearing
and
what
Kiss
more.
Kiss Bang Bang. It's
and
pretty
Kiss,
much exactly Kiss Kiss
and
Bang
Kiss
Bang.
Kiss
It's
Bang
in the
Bang
same
as well.
style.
Yeah. So, okay. Then we get to the.
So now you want to see it, don't you? Everybody wants to see this movie.
I'd love to. I'd love that to be true. Is it going to be any good? Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be really good. Yeah. Should you see it? Yes. I don't know if you need to see it on the big screen, but it would be helpful because
it would definitely be helpful. Help Shane Black make more movies.
I was going to help Shane Black make more movies. Will it make money? I don't think it will. I think
it'll make money. I don't think that they spent a whole lot on it.
Not enough.
And I think it's going to have some legs. It may take till video before it gets some money back.
Yeah.
But I think that probably it's going to have legs. It's going to keep running for a few weeks, and it'll run long enough so that you get something out of it.
Maybe. I mean, it does seem like the production value.
Certainly overseas you don't have a whole lot because Shane Black is all about the dialogue. Dialogue doesn't play that well
Dialogue
overseas.
movies don't play well
But
overseas.
but I think that there's enough there that you can probably have some pretty good legs domestically and make your money back.
Okay, so then the big question is what's going to top off the box that weekend? And I think it actually might be the Angry Birds movie. Even though it feels like it's come 3 years too late, I think that right there is where it gets edged off, and that's entirely because of the PBF factor.
I mean, PBF is high on that one. I'll guarantee you that.
That is a kid's movie, and we both have worked at the theater. We know that those get packed.
Yes, and I'll agree that you've got the high PBF, and it looks like fun, and you've got Josh Gad.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it beating Neighbors. The one question that I have is whether Civil War is going to hold out that long, and it depends on how good Civil War actually is.
If Civil War gets
If Civil War gets great reviews,
then it's going to go to Civil War again.
then it's going to go to Civil War again. If not, Neighbors 2 wins it.
If Civil War doesn't hold up, it's Angry Birds all the way.
No.
With what?
No, if Civil War doesn't hold up, it's Neighbors. So it's going to be Neighbors, Civil War, Angry Birds, and then
the Nice Guys.
Nice Guys, I don't see any way that it's winning anything, but it's definitely going to... I think people are going to be talking about how good it is, and it's going to run for a while, but I don't see it winning.
No.
It's not going to be top, but it's definitely going to be...
As a minor note, it's nice to see Russell Crowe doing something other than being the brooding hero Maximus again. So...
Yeah. And kind of a little bit of comedy there. And I think that Russell Crowe's pretty good at that, and he doesn't get enough chance to do it.
Yeah. So then that takes us to Memorial Day weekend. One of the biggest, I should say the second biggest weekend of the summer, next to July opening weekend. And you've got Alice Through the Looking Glass and X-Men Apocalypse. And whatever goes for the previous weekend, all bets are off, because this is really when the ball gets rolling for summer.
Right.
When, we had, Civil War, you had your time. Now it's time for other movies to start coming in left and right. And Alice Through the Looking Glass, sequel with Johnny Depp, Anne Hathaway, and Mia Wasikowska. Wachowski, I almost said that. In the leads, obviously a sequel. It's also got Sandra Bullock. I can't remember his name. He plays like the clockmaker or something. Yeah, it's got Sandra Bullock in it. The guy from Borat. Sacha
Baron Cohen?
I screwed his name up, but I don't care because I don't care for him.
He's funny.
Yeah.
I liked the first season of Ali G.
Sorry. Various incommittal grunts.
And he was kind of funny in Talladega Nights.
You gotta love how, for all the Alice Through the Looking Glass promo stuff, you've got Johnny Depp front and center, even though the movie's supposed to be about Alice. It's just...
Yeah, well...
they know who they're advertising towards. Yeah,
Mia Wasikowska isn't that big of a name.
I was going to say, I'm sorry. She's just not that big of a name, and it's all about Depp and funny wigs and heavy makeup. And
some CG to make him look funny.
Yeah, some CG to make him look funny.
Funnier.
I think that it looks interesting, and I probably will see it. I might even see it in the theater. I just don't... I don't know. I was okay with the first one. I saw half the reason I saw the first one was because I knew the Tron Legacy trailer was in front of it. So I saw it for that, and saw it for the trailer, stayed for the movie. But definitely a very heavy effects movie and heavy makeup movie, and I think that it might do well simply because Alan Rickman passed away. Yeah, even if he's in there as like a secondary, not even a secondary character, but almost like low-level third or cameo character, people will see that just so they can have one last little taste of Alan Rickman's voice.
Right.
And they have definitely been, in recent advertisements, playing up Alan Rickman's involvement in the film. Whether it's going to be anything at all.
Yeah.
The fact that that his voice is in it, is...
which is great. But
which is great.
I
think that's...
I don't know. I thought that the first one was
average.
all right. Yeah.
It was a severely average movie.
It was certainly a feature-length film.
It was a feature-length film of about average length, starring
Yes.
different stars, and it had a score.
Yes.
And
Probably by Danny Elfman.
And probably by Danny Elfman. Yes, it actually did respect Danny Elfman. Kind of what you'd expect from a Tim Burton film. Thank you. Is it going to be any good? It'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's average. If it's okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. I mean, I don't think I'm going to hate it, but
No.
I think it'll be okay.
It'll be okay. Should you see it? Probably if you want that last little glimpse.
And if you're an Alice fan.
If you're an Alice fan, if you're a Johnny Depp fan, and you want to hear a little bit more of Alan Rickman, then I would say, yeah, you probably want to see it.
Yeah.
And it's an effects movie. So you kind of have, I'm sorry, because it's an effects movie and because we get that average feel, you probably want to see it on the big screen while you have the chance. That's what I always...
I think that probably it would play better on the big screen, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people is that it's, like, you know what, it probably is going to be average, but what'll make it feel bigger is going to see it on the big screen because
Right,
it won't
and there's
play
some
the
movies
same.
that just don't play as well on the smaller screen, and you probably should. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It's not one that you're going to drag me out of bed for, so...
Yeah. Will it make money? Probably, and just on Johnny Depp and Alan Rickman-ness alone.
Yeah.
I think it'll break even. I don't think it'll be a huge blockbuster.
Yeah,
but
I don't expect blockbuster status out of it, but I think it'll do okay.
yeah.
Like, unless the reviews are horrible for it, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah. And then, of course, X-Men Apocalypse. It's got James McAvey and Michael Fassbender and Jennifer Lawrence playing Katniss from...
You're right.
Yeah, I really like just the
As Katniss.
As Katniss. So Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss as Mystique.
Yes.
Which I don't know if they recut the movie or just the trailer or what, but yeah, very much heavy J-Law
Right.
prominence in the trailers of late.
Well, J-Law is probably one of the most famous people walking around today.
I was going to say J-Law is one of the most famous actresses right now, or anybody. So yeah, it would make sense, again, to give her a bigger shining star in this. And this looks like it may or may not be... I mean, these movies make money, okay? Whether they're good or not. And this is sort of billed
You're
as...
talking about X-Men 3, aren't you?
Yeah, of course I'm talking about X-Men 3. Yeah, the dark red-headed stepchild, black sheep of the family. Like, even the X-Men First Class, which was kind of mediocre, wasn't as bad as X-Men 3.
X-Men 3 was really the...
It was the redheaded stepchild of the series. You go stand in the corner, X-Men 3. You think about what you've done for just being here. But it's just... It looks good. I mean, it looks exciting. I really enjoyed X-Men Days of Future Past. It was a really engaging story. It was really exciting and had great effects that were used in a smart way. Everything that you weren't X-Men 3, are you hearing me in that corner? And the fact that they changed up the cast. I'm assuming they're going to have cameos from Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart like they did with the last film. Because they were, I don't want to say cameos, but they were definitely more walk-on roles than anything.
Right.
But
extended cameo, if
you will. But they both, James McAvey and Michael Fassbender, have really fallen well into the roles of...
it's McAvoy.
McAvoy, I don't care. As you may have heard over the course of time in this podcast, sometimes when I mispronounce names, a lot of times I don't care. Fassbender and McAvoy have fallen into the roles of Professor X and Magneto, respectively, and have done so pretty well.
Yeah.
And having this big apocalyptic movie where there's one X-Man or one mutant to rule them all, kind of thing.
The original mutant. Come back. One mutant to rule them all. One mutant to bind them.
Kind of, you get that feel, and I am fine with that because the way the trailers play out, it feels epic. It doesn't feel like it's trying to sell you on something that the back of your mind is saying isn't really there. Hello again, X-Men 3. Stop turning around. Go stay in that corner. It's I like that. I like the big epicness of it, and whether it's doing that because that's what made sense from like the storytellers trying to put things together standpoint, or whether they the people behind it, the Fox Studios, were like, we really need to do stuff more like Marvel is doing it.
Right.
I'm fine if that's the impetus for that too, but
and hopefully they'll start like integrating. I know
Hopefully.
that they in Deadpool they started bringing in some X people.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they'll
kind of a big house.
integrate
Only a few
it all
people
together.
appearing here.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. So that'd be nice. Heck, I would love if there was a Deadpool cameo. Or if they have I wouldn't be surprised if there's kind of a cameo from Wolverine. I almost said Hugh Jackman. That's not his real name. It's actually Wolverine. At the end, just bleeding into his final appearance.
Oh, his real name was Weapon X.
That's true, actually. It's Weapon
Cindy
X.
Snatch.
See, what he's doing right now is his berserker attack with his impression of his berserker attack with his adamantium claws. Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Something like that. Okay, yeah. Sorry, there we go. Little Mallrats shout out. Anyway, is it going to be any good? I think so.
Yeah, I think it'll be definitely enjoyable. Definitely one of those that you should watch on the big screen.
Yeah, should you see
And
it
actually,
for sure.
probably one of those that I will.
Yeah, I was going to say, and will it make money? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
that-
it's going to make all of the money.
All the money. And that's what leads us into the final what top the box office. I'm pretty sure at this point this is where, if Civil War hasn't already relinquished its box office weekend crown, where it hands it over to X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, X-Men
because-
Apocalypse. Definitely going to take it, I think. Probably at this point, 2, maybe 3 for Civil War. I'm going to say 3 for Civil War.
I think Civil War of
And then Alice comes in at 2. No, actually, I don't think
I don't even
Alice
think
is going to do that well.
I don't think Alice is
I
going to do
think
that well.
Alice
This is
comes in 4. I think 2 goes to Neighbors.
2, I think Neighbors leaks to 6. I think it's going to go Apocalypse, Civil War, Angry Birds. Actually, those 2 are interchangeable. 2 and 3rd, because I don't know how it's going to play
Right.
out. It again depends on the critics. 4th is going to be the Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. 5th is probably going to be Neighbors 2, and then 6th, as you wrap up May, my guess at least, is going to be Nice Guys, because it'll just drop right off the following weekend, because it has too much big budget competition that's going up
Right,
against.
I think probably. I think you're probably going to see. I'm going to say 8 for Nice Guys second week.
Really? You think
Yeah.
it'll be sinking as low as 8?
I think it'll drop off that much, but I think it's going to hold fairly steady there.
Yeah.
I think that people are going to keep seeing it, but I don't think it's going to be in the top 5.
Nice Guys strikes me as one of those movies where it's not going to get a bunch of people in the first weekend, but the people
Yeah.
who do see it are going to have word of mouth, and I'm thinking it's going to have legs.
Yeah, because you're going to get people, people are going to go back and get their friends and go, hey, I know you haven't seen this. We have to go see this.
I know you haven't seen it
wanna see
because you
this
were
again."
seeing Civil War for the 4th time, but you
Yeah.
should go see this because it
But
was
we
fun.
need to go see this one.
It was actually
Yeah.
surprisingly good. So, okay, that about rounds out May. So, we usually end the whole summer series telling you what we think is going to be top of the pops for the summer. What's going to
Yeah.
be that biggest maker. But we can at least tell you what we think is going to be the biggest movie of May. And I would assume just based on the sheer amount of time, it would be Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
Because even though X-Men has the benefit of Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, X-Men comes out at the end of the month. It's not going to make more than Civil War does.
That's
For the whole month.
Yeah.
So, biggest movie of May.
That's easily Civil War. Followed up closely by X-Men, because I think X-Men will do such gangbusters that even if the other movies have done well, it won't be nearly as well as X-Men.
Do you think
has.
still X-Men's going to make it into the one weekend? Is going
It's
to make
the-
enough
it's
to be more than all of the other movies?
Yes, because it's the holiday weekend.
Bigger than Neighbors?
Bigger than Neighbors, but
It's going to be
My God.
big. I don't care if you don't like it. It's going to be big.
I don't like it and it's dumb and it'll do horrible. No, I'm not talking about you again, X-Men 3. Shut up and turn around. I don't think that it's going to have the legs that you're expecting. I think that Seth Rogen's days are numbered, and not just because I don't like him. Shh. I think that his days as like being this box office draw are more numbered than you think.
Well, I was thinking Zac Efron, but all right.
Nah. So that wraps it up for May. So that's it for part 1 of Summer Movie Spectacular 2.0. Be sure to tune in to us all summer, where we tell you what's big, what you should see, what you should miss, and what is absolutely going to dominate the box office. And of course, you get to laugh at how wrong we were over the whole thing. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's at One More Rewrite. Or if you want to follow us individually, there's me at Jester of Roanoke, or Lunchbox at OMR Lunchbox. And coming soon, One More Rewrite on Instagram, where you can see our various views as we go in to view various movies that maybe we wanted to see or maybe we wanted to miss them as well. So, until next time, I'm Jester, that's Lunchbox.
Good night.
Toodaloo!